Hi, this is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with Deanna Carr from the Mystical Moonlight Channel. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Awesome, awesome. I wanted to do a quick little short follow-up on our Lizzie Borden video that we did a month or so ago. So Lizzie Borden killed her parents, and you basically
Hmm.
said that she was indeed possessed. Okay, so
Hmm.
they had moved in that house like a year or two prior to that incident.
Hmm.
And I think you said there was something in the house that caused her to be possessed. Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right. Was it a item or it was like a portal or whatever?
It looks like there was an item there.
An item. Is that
Yeah,
item still floating around in society? Like, is there any harm or threat from that item for a future person?
it does look like the item is floating around
Uh-huh.
still.
Okay.
Is there harm to somebody else? Yes.
Do we want to know what it is or where it is, or should we just skip that?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I had a question from a viewer. They want to know if Lizzie Borden was a cannibal.
Yes, she turned into one.
Okay. I did not expect that. So was that during her possession period or from that point forward throughout her
During
life?
the possession period.
The possession period, she was a cannibal. Okay. So does that mean her parents were victims of that?
Yes. So part of it, so there's a lot of information. Okay. So when this happened, they moved into the house.
Yep.
She was kind of called out to this item, right? So usually what happens with these possessed items, they are going to kind of pick somebody that they want to latch onto, right? Usually the more innocent, the better. So they chose her and it kept calling out to her, right? So she was still young, she didn't really understand what was going on. And she started seeing things. She started getting visions, hearing stuff on the negative side. And that started before everything happens. This started like at least a year before, things happened.
Right.
And usually what happens when we talk about possession is it starts to add up. It starts to get worse and worse. The person starts feeling sick. There's things that just happen to the body physically. They kind of space out, forget, and they're not really there the whole time. Like if they kind of wake up and they're like, what am I doing? And they kind
Ah,
of get sucked back in. So
yep.
it wasn't like she was purposely doing that. It's pretty much like it takes over the thought process. It takes over the brain. It takes over your sight, your vision, everything. And you become just a passenger in your body. Okay. Um, so during this time frame, it did get to a spot where it got really bad. And this being wanted her to get the parents, right? Um, Part of the pieces that were not added was there were pieces of their bodies missing. So before they found the parents, she ate them, parts of them at least.
Did the, let's say, town officials, the police or whoever it was, did they realize that?
They did, but it was already so gruesome, they didn't want to add that into it.
Okay.
Because for the space, like for the area and for the time, this is something that's really unheard of, and it's something that's really dark. So they did hold back that little tidbit. I feel like there might have been another tidbit they held back on, but it was mostly because it was already going to be overwhelming for regular people to hear about.
Okay. Were the town officials either afraid of her or were they themselves demonic in some fashion?
Oh, they were afraid. Like not everybody is demonic, right? So for her, they were nervous because they didn't understand why she would do that, right? Usually for somebody to have that type of outcome, there's something really serious happening. So they did take her and they did some testing, but what they found really weird was she was acting normal. She was acting fine. And that is always a huge sign that something is taken over. If you don't have the emotion towards what you're doing, if you just, it's whatever, that's not normal response. Like for most people, like it's either self-defense or, it was self-defense. Like you don't really go out of your way to do something that vicious,
Right, right.
So it was very bizarre to them. And they were nervous about it because in that time frame, you got to think not everybody was into like the spiritual stuff. They weren't sure what it was. They thought it was her. So there's a lot of that contemplation about what is this and why did she do it?
Okay, okay. So here's the big question. Why was she not committed or, found guilty of committing murder? Why? Like, why was she let off?
That's a great
Right.
question.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is a murder case that's 100 and whatever, 30 years old that we're talking about. So, several people had asked me about it before, but it is very interesting how it still remains alive in people's memories, right? This one
Yeah.
random murder or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but why didn't they
Um,
convict her?
that's when they convict her. So I said, why didn't they convict her? And they're saying they didn't feel the need. Why didn't they feel the need since it was so vicious?
Hmm?
All right, so I'm getting because there's more to it. What is what's more to it? They wanted to weaponize her. What does that mean? They wanted to use her demonic side and take out who? That doesn't make sense. I This doesn't make sense at all. So I asked why didn't they want to take her out or, say that she was guilty? They wanted to use her demonic side to do the dirty work. They had other people that were getting off of cases, which it doesn't make sense for this because if she did something this horrific, why would you use her to take other like she's already bad, like it doesn't make sense. But I guess in their thought was I would rather use something that's done something bad than do it myself.
So
Um,
they wanted her to basically kill other people that were guilty of crime but hadn't been convicted.
correct.
Wow. And of course that didn't happen.
No, she got a few. It looks like she got a few, but what happened was she got to the point. It's hard because we're talking about when you get to a point of being, like possessed, you start to not lose yourself, but your body starts shutting down. You
Wow.
start going through these symptoms where your body actually can't keep up. And her body was actually dying,
Okay. Yeah,
and that is what led to her death.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I read that she died at like maybe age 27 of some kind of a flu or something.
Hmm.
And she died at an early age. But of
Yeah.
course, everything is twisted. So she did not die of like something innocent. She died because she had been possessed, and that demon basically was using her energy.
Yes.
And she killed other people that we don't know about.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for letting us know.
Hmm.
Okay. Don't want to go too deep into some of these, like we don't want to put eyes on you. So thank you for your help.
Yeah. Of course.
All right. Thanks so much, Deanna.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.